Now I'm starting. All right, I started up recording. We got a few folks here. We'll give another minute. And we'll share out the notes. Not a huge agenda today. Actually, Kraken and IOflow are supposed to be presenting to us, but they're not gonna. They asked to defer to the next couple meetings. So here's the notes for today. Yeah, just scroll down in the, I guess let's go ahead and get started. I guess let's see who's here. If anyone wants to put their names in as attendees, helps us track who's been here. Never know where it might come in handy. So yeah, put your name in there. I think, does anybody want to introduce themselves? We always like to give a chance at the beginning, folks, to say hello. I think I know everyone here, but I'm not gonna assume. So if anyone wants to say hello, we'll pause for 20 seconds.
I'll say hello, Josh, if that's all right. I haven't been to one of these tag meetings before, but hello, everyone. I'm Matt Manzensky. I'm a senior engineering manager at Hayet. We're a SaaS company based in Kansas City. We're an end user of Kubernetes. I'm over our platform engineering function. I've been working with the maturity model group recently, so just interested to be here.
Thanks for joining, Matt. Good to have you. John, do you want to say hello?
I can. Hi, I'm John. I'm a senior application engineer with Crumware, and been working a little bit on the platform maturity model just as a reviewer, and happy to be here.
Thanks. Yes, so this is the general meeting where we go over anything that's come up the past few weeks related to tag app delivery, all of the concerns around delivering applications on modern cloud things. I won't say platforms. All right. So in terms of status updates, I guess I can share the project reviews, the sandbox project reviews, annual reviews. We're not going to be doing via the tag in the end. They're revisiting that. So just wanted to let you all know that. From the WeGs, let's see, the platforms group, we're going to talk about the maturity model in a minute. There is a nascent effort to work on some platform as product recommendations. That's also going on. The artifacts working group is still proceeding. They're working on, I was at their last meeting. They're gathering up information on the various different package managers, the protocols and interfaces that they provide, looking to get some rationality around all of them. So it's pretty early days still, but they're working there. I mentioned at the beginning, project reviews, we have a couple pending. So they're up at the top of our doc. Kraken, IOflow, and KubeBurner are coming in the next 2 to 3 weeks, 2 to 3 meetings. And I guess, yeah, one point on that is testing frameworks. We are kind of encouraging them to come talk to us, just FYI, because we see that as part of the delivery process. There's a general consensus on that. So if you don't agree with that, I guess talk about it in the channel or something. Yeah, with that, the only real item on the agenda today, well, 2 items, I think, is one is to just inform everybody about the maturity model, which Abby, thank you so much, has now posted in Code 464. Basically through a lot of work, through I would say 2 or 3 months of a lot of discussions, the group settled on 5 or 6 or 5 aspects to report on or to discuss in terms of an organization's maturity in adopting like platform engineering, which we're kind of defining more as a concept at the beginning of that paper. So that's the, I would say, content complete draft about beta quality. We're ready for everybody to have eyes on it. I know there's a lot of work going on in the background. Abby, I think, is on mute today, so I don't know if she could chime in, but stuff to refine the last bits, put a conclusionary sentence in, fix up a few sentences, things like that. So please take a look, especially leaders of the TAG in the Technical Oversight Committee that, watch this, or yeah, please review it. We want to put CNCF's name on it, so we want to make sure everyone is aligned with what's there. Yeah, I guess I should pause here for if anyone has questions about what's happening there, or
Nope, just great job. Really exciting to see it move along.
thanks, Dan. Cool. Yeah, I've been actually talking with some folks within Red Hat that are pretty excited to party on this some too. So it's gonna, hopefully that we'll learn from them and they'll learn from us. Like if they might do some surveys and things, and I'll share whatever we find. Oh, hey, Abby, do you want to chime in anything from wherever you are?
No, sorry. I'm at an event, so I wasn't going to jump on, but they just finished off the talk, so I figured I'd jump back into where I can speak. But nope, all exciting.
Okay, so the other thing on the list, and I see Leanna's at one more, KubeCon. So we're getting close, 1 month till KubeCon Chicago. I guess I'll ask who here is going. Me, and it's just down the street from me. Abby is. I'll take that as no's from everyone else. Oh, good, Matt, you're gonna come. Good. It's just across the state, right? 2 states.
Yeah, short hop from Kansas City. I have to try to be there.
Awesome. So the TAG will have a meeting. So 2 things really that I kind of want to talk over with everyone. I mean, there's a few things, but like where we kind of need everyone's help and input is number 1, the project meeting, which we're going to hold on Monday morning. So actually, I should share this doc with everyone. I can find they just published a nice, a nice page about all the project meetings that are going to be had. I just shared it in the chat. All the project meetings are going to be happening on Monday. So actually, I kind of suspect some other folks that are, related to what we're doing in the TAG. A lot of our projects have their own sessions those days. If you look at the second section in that doc, you'll see like Captain, Litmus Chaos, Carvel, who we talked to last year even. So you might have, if you come that day, you'll probably have a lot of different projects you can check in on. I guess I'm kind of opening it up now. We have, TAG app delivery. I kind of put in when I submitted, like we'll talk about the WeGs and where they're at. We can invite some of our projects, especially ones that don't have a project meeting or a project booth. What do folks think? Is there other thoughts on what we should do with the project meeting? Will people be able to attend that? Abby and Matt, would you be interested in attending? Nice.
Yes, absolutely.
Sweet. So I mean, one thing I'm thinking of is like what we did in the past was just open like a small CFP kind of form where we kind of said what we're looking for, which I think is like 5 to 10 minute talks on a project or an open idea related to app delivery, cloud app delivery.
I think It would be good to reserve a little bit of time to discuss the tag in general. I think we did that last time in Amsterdam as well, just like 1-2 hours discussing the inner workings of the tag, and then have some lightning talks, and maybe we can also specifically time those so people who are not that interested in joining the tag discussions can just come for the lightning talks as well. Because it was pretty cramped last time, and I know the room this time might be even smaller. So the more we can specifically pinpoint, if you're interested in this, come to at that time to this room. It's probably the better.
Yeah, it's good feedback.
I think that there was a lot of really good conversations around that people wanted to keep having more of. And I can't remember exactly what they were, but they felt like organic things. And I can't say that I saw them continue after Amsterdam, which was unfortunate. So I don't know if there's something we could do about either seeding the conversations before we show up, or something about leaving the space for the conversations when we're there, or something about how we follow up, right? There's ways, lots of ways you can solve this. There's not one way. But yeah, I think like some sort of, if we want to solve it in the room, there we could do some sort of like a lean coffee style format where people put ideas down and vote on the most valuable ones to them that day. And so therefore we're driven by the humans in the room rather than by like a preemptive schedule or whatever. I don't know, but I enjoyed the last one, so I don't have any like revolutionary changes to suggest, other than excited to be back for it. So yeah.
I think that's a great idea. It's kind of like the open spaces at DevOps days, right? You just propose the topics then, and then maybe break out. I guess there's enough space. It might be a little bit loud, but you can always find a hallway somewhere and then discuss. And then we can also say like an outcome could be, for example, opening an issue, or taking ownership of however that is supposed to continue, whatever comes out of the conversation. I really like that.
I don't suspect we'd want to break out too many. I was actually, to be honest, originally thinking we'd just have that be the room conversation, but I could imagine there being a world where we want 2 tracks. But maybe that would be born out of how many ideas there are and which ones are clearly most popular versus if there's a more even spread across them and things we can facilitate on the day possibly. So yeah.
That sounds good. And we could bring some initial ideas in for the beginning, just as like inspiration and suggestions, and then people can just add their own stuff.
Maybe we can add that to the tag topics for the like this call just before KubeCon as like something that we can brainstorm as a group or raise as a group.
On the Wednesday, yeah, the Wednesday 11/1 meeting, we can go over everything. What if we did a lean style for like an hour of it? Okay.
I do that every month for a lean coffee meetup, and I think you can get through a lot of really interesting topics, especially if we're thinking about pulling out action items from them and being active about that. Like I think we can have some, and then not everything needs an action item, but I'm just saying if we're being active about identifying where it's not enough time and we want an action item from it, I think that'd be more than enough time to touch on each subject and then let them ride out from there.
That would be awesome if you could. Yeah, sounds like Abby, you have a lot of experience with this.
I'm happy to facilitate that hour if that's helpful. Yeah.
Yeah, that would be awesome. Do people think like, so we have the room from 8. By the way, I did get a note from them this week. I forwarded it. Oh, maybe to Leanne, but not you, Abby. Sorry. I do think I should send it to all the Ouija leads though. Also, it's in the Marriott for whatever that's worth.
It's in my hotel. I can be there at 8.
Oh, yeah, that was my next question. Should we really start at 8?
Maybe only the leads should be there at 8.
I could try to be there at 8. Yeah, and that we could do tag discussion then. I don't know if
You could do that.
We'll save the project leads from having to listen to that. Okay, yeah, if you'll be there at 8, Abby, I'll be there too, and anyone else that
Let's
can
do
make
it.
Yeah, we'll be ready and starting early. Let's not miss a
If
chance.
you do like a leads meeting at the beginning online, then I can also be there.
Good
I would
call.
say we
Good-
can also keep the first like 30 minutes to an hour is a little bit more low key in the sense of like acknowledging that 8 to 9 is not going to be the highest attendance rate, but that doesn't mean it can't be high quality conversations. So, yeah.
Yeah, I kind of like this. So like 8 to 9, maybe a little more, is like tag, Ouija, governance discussion. We'll open up the remote bridge so folks in Europe, it won't be a terrible time for you all. Yeah. And then 9 to 12, we can, you know, we can focus on lightning talks and Ouija's and lean coffee and things like that. Cool. So I think next steps on this is to open like a form. Yeah, or yeah, because we want a few people to submit potential talks in addition to the unconference, or at least give them a way to say they want to share.
I think a form, I think the form would be nice if it was less formal than the last one in the sense of that it could just be these are like preceded topics for the lean coffee, or hey, I want like, and so we can ask like, is this a presentation or is this a topic, and allow for either, because I think, yeah. Yeah.
So you're saying two formats. Do you want to do this as like 5 to 7 minutes you're sharing with us, or do you want to lead a conversation for 5 to 10 minutes?
Exactly. And so we basically can give both and give a sense. And there might be a world where, given the number of submissions, we ask people to do it as a conversation rather than a presentation, or vice versa, to make it work. But we at least know where people's preferences are. So yeah.
Nice. Yeah. Yes, that would be awesome. And I'm also thinking like if we get the form there, then we can we'll put it in like the Slack channels. We can even try to talk to some of the project leads. This is where I always like I would love for some of our long tail of projects to come in and share. But we can point them to this form and say, hey, here's your opportunity. Okay.
I also wonder though if that's the format where we want product presentations. One of the things I noticed at our booth lightning talk last year is that we talked about them wanting to be targeted at like industry trends or conversations around the bigger picture of app delivery and things, and a lot of them were quite product driven. They were like kind of demos of a product. And I thought that was really good in the sense that like I got to explore products I wasn't as familiar with, but I also found that like I found it really entertaining at one point because we had 2 or 3 products go back to back to back that all were solving the same problem, and yet nobody spoke about the fact that they were going back to back to back with other people talking about the same problem and solving it in slightly different ways and what the patterns there were. And that's why I say, like, I think it'd be interesting to see what comes back on the form. And then maybe we can encourage, hey, we've noticed that all 3 of you have submitted this topic. Can we set aside 15 minutes and talk about the patterns behind this topic rather than doing 3 different presentations? And that gives us an opportunity to try and shape a higher level conversation rather than I actually think remote is a really good use case for demos because it's recorded, it's accessible, and yeah, so yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I really like that idea of trying to, you're right, that I would say project instead of product to make it sound a little less commercially. But yeah, people were focused on their projects and they were open source, but yeah, let's try to gather them together. That's a great idea. We even have, it's come up like, should we make one of these tag general meetings, like a themed meeting, and ask like 5 projects to present or something? So yeah, that'll be a good way to test that. Okay, so kind of shifting similar topic, the booth. So we have the booth every evening. Should we try to set, I know Abby, you want to set up some birds of a feather session. Is that orthogonal to this? Should we try to do something at the booth? There's a lot more booths or a lot other tags also have booths. So it's, I don't know, kind of something to think about. What do people think about that? So I guess the question is, what do people think of having talks at the booth for, say, an hour at 4 o'clock on, well, not Tuesday, because I'll go with Wednesday.
Yes, but you need to bring like a mic and a speaker or something because it gets really loud And for me, on day 2 at KubeCon, my voice is gone. So it definitely needs some support there.
Looking where they put us. So there's P10 on the floor plan. We're at the corner of the pavilion. It's kind of good for noise. Yeah, let's write down though. You're saying we need
Do you know
We need
those
to-
karaoke mics where they just have like a little
Yeah,
like
that's what I meant to you, Lee.
yeah, you just get one of those and you can even have those cool echo effects too.
Right.
And they're not that
Yeah.
expensive.
Yeah, my kids have one actually. They like to do karaoke on YouTube.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
There we go. It's free. It's free. You can just bring it down from Skokie. It'd be great.
Oh, I don't
Right.
think his kids will let him.
True.
Give us a second to hide it.
Yeah,
That's
I think that's all a good point. I think I also had a couple things I added to the sheet when I thought of them, because I thought I might forget before this meeting, which I did because I was like, oh, those are good ideas. Look at me. That we've been talking about trying to get more project engagement. And I wonder if, depending on how many of our projects have booths, if we could create our own booth crawl for those projects and we could allow that to be initiated at every project booth if they so choose, right? They can opt into having like stacks of paper or whatever, or if we have a little app or whatever it is, like at their booth as like an advertisement for it. But it obviously also would be at our booth. And that might encourage more cross-pollination of projects, and that might encourage more engagement with the tag and the tags projects. For those that come in via the tag, they'll go off to projects. And for those that start with projects, they might come to tag or to other projects. So I don't know, it might involve needing a sponsor of some sort of a prize. So, that's something to think about. But I think, a lot of people are like giving away Legos these days and stuff. If we could get $100 prize, sponsorship or something from one of the companies in the tag, slap the name on it, slap the name on the bar crawl or the project crawl, like might be worth it. So so that was one of the ideas. And then the other one was another opportunity for a sponsor from someone within the tag. My company sponsored the last time. I can talk to them about doing it again, but I by no means need to be the only one. So if I'm happy to take like only if other people don't want to sponsor kind of situation or stance. But we had printouts that highlighted the white paper last time. We didn't need to print very many because they also had QR codes on them for how to get to it virtually, and we did have leftovers. So I think we could even print even less. Like we don't want to waste trees, but at the same time, I think that helped people physically touch something, even if they then put it back down because they didn't take it with them because they didn't need it because they'd had the virtual copy. But I think that gave something for people to talk to and at the booth to showcase the work that we had done. So that was another thing that's probably, $50 to $100 worth of, maybe $50 for the number of copies we actually need, worth of sponsorship that we could possibly do. So, yeah.
I could see us like doing the maturity model in a similar way that we listed those, which maybe we need to update the aspects based on the maturity model, but we could just do the 5 from the maturity model, maybe even just put the table on a piece of paper.
Yeah, exactly. And we can mix and match it with the white paper and the maturity model or with something else, right? But I could imagine one side being the maturity model and the other side being, I don't know what, like something else about, yeah, as you said.
Yeah, reach out to the other like VGs. Maybe they want to do a flyer this time as well. Last time I think platform was pretty much the only one. And then we did like a general tag stuff because because we thought it would be weird if it was just
Totally agree.
platforms, I guess.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think honestly, it was just a last minute, like really good idea that came up like a couple weeks before the event, and then Leanne, you make life happen, so you did that.
Yeah, so
I think
this
given more
time we
prep.
can be a bit better prepared for sure.
There it goes.
Here I am in Chicago, so
I
I'll
can
go to
also send you at least the front side of the flyer, the one that was more generally tagged, just as a
That'd be awesome.
a reference. Yeah. Let me see if I can find it.
I think the reason why I wanted to come back and be on camera was because of those topics and that I put my name to them. And I didn't want to like leave them without context, but I do possibly have to run off to the event.
I want to just mention one thing, Abby. We're gonna have the booth Tuesday night, which is during the main booth crawl. So maybe we should coordinate with all the project pavilion then, do you think?
Yeah. You mean doing
the
like project booth crawl idea during
Yeah,
that time
maybe there
period.
should be
Yeah.
something, I mean, it overlaps the other tags too, but maybe we should do something specific to the Project Pavilion that evening. We
Yep.
could even ask the folks, the lady that's putting it together, talk to the other
Yeah.
tags. I'm afraid to volunteer too much, but if you want to help with that, let's,
Let's have a chat about what it is. There's probably a lot on, so I think trying to keep. I have to admit, trying to keep it to our tag and extending it to the projects related to our tag, I think feels possibly more attainable at this moment. But yeah, we can take that offline. I think that there's a lot of asynchronous, you know, we can start a thread on it and maybe have a bit of a chat, and then we can or a issue in GitHub and have a bit of a chat on it. Yeah,
okay. Sounds good. Thank you,
awesome.
Abby.
No stress. Sorry to party and run, but let me know if there's any other action items that y'all need my eyes on or support with or whatever. But yeah, thanks again for maturity model, all the hard work from everyone on the call and hopefully listening later to this recording. So yeah,
Thank you. Enjoy the event.
bye y'all.
Bye.
Okay, so KubeCon plans were good. Project meeting 8 to 12. Booth, we've got some ideas. We're gonna open the CFP thing in the next couple days. I'll work with Abby on the booth crawl and printouts. I guess we'll just start discussing and see where we get with that, because I don't know that we have anyone assigned. And blog posts, actually, I was gonna mention I gotta work or we gotta write some blog posts basically on the activities we're doing. And maybe the maturity model release. I'm tracking those, I guess. I'm not, unless somebody here wants to work on those. I'm gonna still open an issue and start working on them, basically. But I would love support if other folks want to write them.
I can definitely pick up the flyer thing for now.
Be
I will
awesome.
need you, Josh, just to mention it to the artifacts people that if they want something, they should send it to me. And then I'm just going to set a deadline for, what do you think is a good deadline? Let's say November 1st.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was looking at. And that's the day of one of our meetings too. So
Yeah, excellent. So then we will just like finalize it on November 1st, and then hopefully that will give you enough time to print. Obviously, I'm gonna ask you to take care of that then. Cool.
it's fine. Yeah, I just wrote it down. Let's make sure everything is done by 11/1. That's a nice target for us. Okay, so the last thing here is the website restructure. Leanne, do you want to talk about that?
Sure. It's not super much to talk about except that the pull request is open and Abby has checked it out, and I think everything's working now. So basically my question is, should we ask someone else to look over it? No, everyone's super busy right now.
We're always all super busy, but yeah, I'll try to look over it soon. It's
Okay.
Yeah, and if anyone else wants to. Are you saying, is it okay to merge, Leanne?
Pretty much. Well, the question is, like, is there something else that we need to look out for before it's ready to merge from your point of view? Because it's really like it doesn't change a lot from the front of it. We already changed kind of the navigation. It's just that the workflow has changed now. So it's a bit easier to create new working groups or white papers because there are now archetypes for those. And then I added like dev container specification just to make things easier for me personally. Yeah, so basically the question is, do we need something else to consider? And then like, yeah, final like wink, wink, nudge, nudge, please someone review this.
Yeah, no, I'm looking over the diffs now. Yeah, this is pretty cool. I didn't realize you created all those archetypes. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll try to take it over. I don't want to delay. Do we need it? You need a approval still?
Yeah, I think if you can approve it, then I think I'm now allowed to merge. And then after this, I can look into the pull request about translations, because that's been open for like a long, long time, and I just wanted for this to be done. Yeah, I think that's it on that topic. Not much more. I
Okay.
do think that we can utilize the blog a little bit more. I think we can just write more blog. I don't know if we discussed like, should we publish, for example, these tag meeting notes in some way? Or like once a week we publish all the meeting notes or something like that? Or like maybe once every 2
Might
weeks.
be cool. It might be cool to publish, especially the reviews. I mean, today we didn't really get into a project, but like when a project comes or somebody, shares a story,
Right.
both after, like to say, hey, Silver Surfer came and presented their story. Here's a link to the recording and the notes or the issue. Or even in advance, like, hey, next month we're gonna have so and so come and present. Are you interested? Come listen.
Yeah. How much in advance do we usually know that someone's presenting a project?
I mean, you could kind of see in the chats, it's kind of informal right now, although we could
Yeah.
make it a little more formal. Right now, it's usually about a month or so, if we have an opening, and then I'm just like, yeah, come to the next one. But we can say
Okay.
like weeks or something.
Yeah, that ties into the, the platform prototype idea that we had, where we were saying that people can just apply to feature their example on the website. And that could be similar to like, if you want to present your tool, you could like open a PR for a blog post, for example, and then fill that out.
Or an issue
That
is
could be
more
part.
like start with an issue and then we can
Yeah.
go from there.
Something like
It would
that.
be
Yeah.
awesome if somebody that wants to present like a project, even if it's not on its way to, Sandbox, like Clue Cuddle we had last time from Alex Block. Just open an issue. I think the flow should be open an issue in our GitHub, and then we'll just track the conversation there. We'll write our notes and
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. I feel like we should maybe add this to the leads meeting later.
yeah, like a monthly newsletter. I mean, that would be great.
Yeah.
I think if somebody wants to like take that on, that's the main thing right now. Like I would do it, but I
Right.
don't want to volunteer right now. But like, it doesn't. I think it just has to get started. That's the hardest thing, by the way, is to get
Yeah.
started. Then everybody can correct it for version 2, because it's easier to correct something that exists. So if somebody's motivated to just write up one.
I'm adding it to the leads meeting as a topic.
Yeah, that will probably help attract contributors too, because they'll know more what we're doing. Thank you for your work on the site, Leanne. I'll take a look now. We might have looks like this meeting might be wrapping up soon, so
Yeah.
I can take a few minutes to do it then.
Yeah, that's all from me.
Okay. I don't think there's anything else on the agenda. So last chance, I'll open the floor for 20 seconds.
Everyone's just lurking today.
Oh, that's good. We'll take it. Please come and lurk and share your thoughts, and yeah. It works.
Yeah, give us
All right.
feedback.
Yeah, give feedback online or
Cool. All right. Thanks all for coming.
yeah. Talk to you soon.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye-bye.